Okay, hello everyone. So today's session wasn't recorded because we had some technical problems with the Wi-Fi, but we did cover the first two pages, just basically talking about IUPAC and acidity, which should be a review from Marvel 1, but I just wanted to do this quick video so like those of you who couldn't make it, like you have this as a reference, but pretty much in here. We just reviewed how to name your alcohol group. So remember that the alcohol group, since they have one of the highest priorities, they should be included in the parent chain. So that's what we did. And now you guys should remember benzyl alcohol. And please remember the difference between phenyl and benzyl. Phenyl groups, which is basically just an aromatic ring that's directly connected to the parent chain. And then a benzyl group, there's a little bend in between. So there's a carbon in between the aromatic ring and the parent chain. Now for ethers, this was something new for IUPAC. So first of all, for ethers, there are going to be two different ways in which how to name them. One of them is going to be if the ether is the parent chain. So in that case, we would just end with ether. But if the ether is acting as a substituent, then we're going to use the ending oxy. Okay. Now, the next thing was your physical properties, which was more specifically about boiling point. Now, remember that this is the trend for boiling points. So the stronger the intermolecular forces, the higher the boiling point. The less branching you have, the higher the boiling point. And then the other trend that we saw was with the molecular weight. So the heavier a molecule is, the higher the boiling point. So those examples are pretty self-explanatory. In this case, this one was the one with the highest boiling point because it has two hydrogen bonding moments. And then alcohols. You guys got this one correct on SI. It is a weak Bronsted base. Sorry, that's not correct. It is a weak Bronsted acid. Okay, so let's correct that really quickly. Now, but I told you in SI that alcohols could actually be both acids or bases. It's going to depend on the environment that you have. But in this case, just for the concept sake of it, let's just say that they're going to be weak Bronsted acids. And this is a little chart just so you guys can review what's a Bronsted acid or base versus a Lewis acid and base. Remember, Bronsted is all about hydrogens. Lewis is all about electrons. And then since we were talking about IUPAC, I did a little listing here. Well, this is for your professor. You guys should have access to this. Just look in their modules and it should be like extra lecture material or something like that. It's one of the very first folders in the modules. But the ones that are highlighted in green, those are the ones that you guys should know for this upcoming exam. And then later on, we're going to learn the ones in pink. So all of those. Okay, so for now, just focus on the green ones. Those are going to be for this exam. Okay, and then the next thing that we talked about was acidity, basically. We were talking about the conjugate base of an alcohol. We were talking about the name specifically. It's going to be an alkoxide. So keep that in mind. That's just the common name for any deprotonated alcohols. And then we were basically reviewing the different acidity trends. So there's a couple that we reviewed. One of them was ARIO. So remember, the most electronegative atom, the more acidic the molecule, the more resonance you have, the more acidic it is, the more inductive effects, and the closer it is to that deprotonated hydrogen, that's going to be more acidic. And then for orbital, remember, triple bonds are more acidic than double bonds and then single bonds. And then we review the pKa trend. Please remember that for the exam. The lower the pKa, the stronger the acid, which also means that the lower the pKa, the weaker the conjugate base. Okay. And then for acidity in the periodic table, we know that we're going to increase the acidity as we go to the right and down. And then we just did a couple of ranking questions. So that was it. Hopefully we didn't miss that much. We're going to continue with the rest of the handout next session. And yeah, that was it.